Hello. We are back with a science activity today. That's right, we're going to do a STEM science project. Now you're going to need 3 things for this. The first thing you're going to need is a bowl or tray of water. I suggest a bowl. So I have this is my baking tray of water. You're going to need aluminum foil. And then you're going to need some type of manipulative. Now, ideally I'd go with coins, like pennies, quarters, nickels. I don't have any on me, so what I'm going to be using is these fruit ice cubes. You can use Legos. Legos would also be another good one. I would suggest the small little Legos if you have those. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a floating boat. That's right, we are going to use our aluminum foil to make a boat that will float on the water and will carry our manipulative. Now, I am no engineer and I have never made a boat before, but what a time to learn. So, we're going to start off with taking about a square of our aluminum foil. So, aluminum foil is great because it is easy to manipulate and move about. It's very flexible. You can just rip it off. You don't need scissors. Also, listen to the sound of it. Kind of reminds me of the rain or thunder. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start by making a boat. I'm going to start, obviously, I think this is going to take a couple times. We're going to have to do this a few times to see what kind of model or plan is the best. You are welcome to, if before you want to start building, you can get a piece of paper and start writing out your plan. That's a great idea. You can draw out what you think is going to happen. I'm going to just jump right in. I'm going to kind of go with the fan method. So have you ever used paper to make a fan? So I'm going to fold it in. And I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. Now my boat doesn't have to be large because I have a small tray of water, but if you're using the bathtub, you can make your boat as big as you want it to be. I don't have a bathtub. Now I'm going to go on all 4 sides, like I said, and fold it in. Now my thought is that this is going to help it be a little bit more stable because when I fold it, it's getting layers and layers of aluminum foil, so it's becoming a little bit stronger. So that's my initial thought. Now then I have this. Now I could I guess put it as a little raft that floats, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fingers to make it more of a curved boat. So I'm going to curve it in. It almost is going to look like a hot dog. A hot dog, yeah, what carries the hot dog. I'm going to make a little bit of the boat here. So it has a little dip in there. So I'm going to put it in. Let's see if you can see. I'm going to put it in, and the hope is that it doesn't sink. Because I haven't even put in my ice cubes yet. So let's see what happens when I just put in the aluminum foil. Okay. So far so good. So far so good. Okay. Do you know why aluminum floats in the water and it doesn't automatically sink? That's right, because it is lighter than the water. So my boat is floating. Now I'm going to do one at a time, 1 ice cube at a time. And I'm going to pick my lightest ice cube to start with. That's my watermelon one. So I'm going to put it in. I'm going to do a little zoom action here so you guys can see what's happening. Put it in. Let's see. So far so good. Let's see what happens if I move it around a little. Okay. So the aluminum foil boat is holding my watermelon. Now let's see what happens if I put in a grape. Join your little watermelon friend. It's still working. Yay! Oh, I do see a little here that might eventually take on some water. To be careful about that. So what happens if I put on another apple and an apple? You know what, guys? I think I might have done it. Take one. Let's see. The goal is for it to carry all of my ice cubes. I'm going to put in a strawberry next. Oh, I spoke too soon. It's officially sank to the bottom. Oh no, round 1, it sank. But you know what? That's not too bad. I carried 4 ice cubes. I think what I went wrong with was here, let me get out the water. The side here that I like pushed out, it ended up when the fruit was in here, the weight of the fruit kind of displaced it, and it pushed this side into the water, and it was easier. It took on more water than I would like it to. So, you know, take one didn't go so well, but that's not too bad. I learned. Now I'm going to try again. So I'm going to take out all my fruit, and I'm going to take out my boat, and I'm going to try take two. Okay? Now, the next time I do this boat, I'm going to do more of like a raft boat. So this is about like if I was stranded on a desert island and all I had was like trees and coconuts, and you know, this is what I would make. And aluminum foil. I'd totally be able to get out of that. So I'm gonna roll it. This is gonna be not as like nice and neat, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna roll my sides versus folding them. I think because when I was folded, the lines were too clear and concise, and they were too perfect. So they were easy to take on water, but like if I have more of a like rougher edge, I feel like the little bumps in the grooves are gonna make it harder for us to take on water. So I'm gonna fold it in. This one's boat's gonna actually be a little bit smaller. So that's, I think, what I went wrong to in my last boat. It was really big. So more opportunity for it to take on water. So, okay. So this is what I kind of went with. It's not as nice, it's not as pretty, but hey, if it works, if it gets me off that island. So I did the edges here are a little more crinkled, and I really like made a scoop, kind of like, it's like a shovel a little bit. I can like scoop things up. So I'm gonna put it in the water, and let's wait and see what happens. So it's floating. That's good, it's floating. Hasn't sunk yet, so let's start with our watermelon. Watermelon's going well. Let's move on to our grape. We've got our grapes. Hey, I think it might be working this time. Let's put our apple in. Yeah, see, this is what I was saying. The last time I put the apple in, it started to sink because the sides were too, they weren't, like this has something to lean up. The apple has something to lean against it. So it's if the weight is being like spread out evenly. Okay. Strawberry. I want strawberry. I'm making like a fruit salad. The strawberry. So when it did sink last time was the strawberry because it became too heavy. But hey, this is still working. Okay, let's try 2 apples. Oh, it's sinking a little bit, but it's not taking on water yet. And this is the last thing. 1 more strawberry. If it can hold this strawberry, I've made a boat that floats. Oh man, that strawberry just pushed it over. Well, at least they're in the water together. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I think we had fun doing a science experiment. I loved it. It's the first time I did it, and I learned a lot. My second boat did better than my first boat, but it still ultimately sunk, so that tells me I still have some more planning I need to do. My challenge for you is to do just that. Plan, make a guess of what you think is going to happen. That's called a hypothesis. You can plan out different types of boats you want to use. Maybe you want to use different materials. I like to use the foil because it's light, but maybe you want to try to cardboard. What would happen with that? What would happen if you use paper plates? I don't know. What if happened if you used, instead of ice cubes, you use pennies? You know, try different things. And that's my challenge to you. And if you do it, please tell your mom and dad to send me pictures of it. I'd love to see. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.